school not in. Right. Because when school get in, population go up.
Everything.
Kids get crazy. They become victims.
Case numbers, all that stuff.
All that stuff, man. Huh? Oh, yeah, yours on silent, name.
Come on now. This the kid. Come on now.
Hey, listen. He shouldn't be getting no message but from his wife, and his wife nowhere yet, so.
Ain't like I'm the PIO or something.
Damon! What's up, man?
Light bill and it got to be paid.
Light bill. Mine was like $238 last month. It's $231 this month.
$355, brother.
Ooh.
Yeah,
How many kids you got,
two? I said today, this month is power saving month. You watch TV in there? Cut that off.
I like your mama.
Hey.
I like your grandma back in the day.
Hey, the AC. The AC. Stay on 75.
Mine, but I don't know what I tried to keep mine down, but I can't never do it.
I'm gonna get some solar panels. I got a couple neighbors that got some.
And somebody in my neighborhood on the other block just got some. But I question though, like, at what point do they actually start saving you money? Because I know they're expensive from the top.
Right.
Then most people who get them, they paying on them, right? Because they so expensive. A lot of people just.
The people I've seen, I think they pay for them up front.
Oh, really?
I mean, because they got the generator, they got the solar panels. I'm like,
the generator was up.
It's like 10.
You know, speak with that hurricane going on in southern Louisiana right now, generator would be perfect. But with all the flooding they about to have, I don't even think a generator would even work.
Yeah, man. It'd be gone, I think. My opinion.
Damon, man, so how long you been working in law enforcement?
15 years, man.
15 years?
15, brother.
It's been a good 15 to you?
It's been up and down. But I wouldn't change them for the work. Everything happened for a reason, bro.
You wanted to be a police officer coming up as a kid?
You know, you always say, everybody say, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a police officer.
Yeah. You
say it, but it really didn't cross my mind.
Yeah.
Like in school, I was always fascinated with the camera. So actually, my first declared major was journalism.
Yeah.
And I want to be a cameraman and, working back at the scenes and editing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My mom's boss, Dr. Ralph Turner, he worked at FAMU for many years. He passed.
He was a professor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was actually over the chemistry department. He was like, you're always up here messing with my computers and stuff. Why don't you major computer science and I'll give you a scholarship? Because basically I've been working at FAMU since I was in third grade. Because my
money just wasn't paying you.
Yes, yeah, they weren't paying me. So I'm doing running errands and everything else. So I knew the whole campus, third grade, walking around by myself. So he said, why don't you do that? And I was like, all right. So I got an academic scholarship doing that. And then commercial came across the screen, Tallahassee Police Department, Citizens Police Academy.
Wait, so you got a scholarship for computer science to go to FAMU, but you decided to major in criminal justice. You was able to still use your...
No, I lost it. Yeah. Matter of fact, he wasn't too happy about that. But I changed my major to criminal justice after going through the Citizens Police Academy. But little did I know, you can have a major in basket weaving and be a police officer. So I just
what made you go through the Citizens Police Academy?
I was always kind of intrigued by it. Yeah. Manley Woodson was one of the probably like second or third, maybe, I'm not sure. But he was one of the first group of black officers at TBD, and he went to my church. And so I was fascinated with Batman when I was a kid. Yeah. So back then, TBD had like the powder blue uniforms, and he had the gun belt. I'm like,
you can remember when we had powder blue uniforms?
Remember that, man?
That's crazy. I can't remember that.
And a little tiny little small badge and a little tight behind cars. I don't know how they fit them back then. I definitely want to fit them.
We talking about the 80s? Late 80s?
Talking about the 80s, 90s, yeah. Late 80s.
So we had them in the 90s too?
The powder blue? I don't know exactly when we changed them, but I know we had them in the 80s, for sure.
I mean, I see them on the pictures in the hallway, but I can't remember that. I don't even know if I was born.
Yeah, man. So I thought about it. I was like, okay. I was like, maybe I'll get this a shot. And I went through the police academy. I remember sitting back. I was at work. Yeah. I was doing like a little job, and I was sitting back studying for a computer programming class. I think it was like a C++, something like that. Yeah. And like a coding class, and I was
That's the language?
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? Do I want to be doing this for the rest of my life? Like, I just envisioned myself, like, no offense to all the state workers out there, but I envisioned myself like being a state worker with some thick glasses in front of a computer like the rest of my life. And I was like, I said, I think I'll get this a shot. And so I changed my major, man. Yeah. I remember calling my mom, and I was like, hey, I'm changing my major. And she like, the what? I'm like, police officer. I'm going to be a major criminal justice. And she was like, you sure you want to do that? That's dangerous. I'm like, yeah. I called my dad, and he was like, that's what you want to do? Go ahead and do it.
It's amazing how our parents, our friends, people we associated with closely, the first thing they associate with police work is danger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fair reaction. But as a police officer who's been doing this for 15 years, there's so many times when you never necessarily feel in danger. The majority of the time when you're doing the job, you don't feel in danger. Yeah. But you know it could change just like that.
Always. I mean, you just gotta like roll with the punches. Like in practice, you play any sport or whatever, baseball, football, whatever. You can practice a certain way, and the pit team and the practice team can draw up the plays with other squads going to be doing on that next Saturday.
Right.
But until you get out there, you're like, this ain't what we practice. But you just gotta know how to have backup plans, man.
Right. Yeah. You got any siblings? I know you got a brother.
Got a brother. He's in the military. He's in Hawaii right now.
Yeah. How long he been in the military now? You think?
About 7 years.
You think he gonna do the whole ride?
Nah, I don't think he's gonna do it. He went over to Afghanistan, and he was assigned with the special forces over there. Yeah. I think that kind of like changed his mindset and a whole bunch of stuff. So I think he's about ready to get out, come back, finish school.
So what your upbringing was like, man? You had mom and dad at home, right?
I had mom and dad, both professional, both worked at FAMU. Good upbringing, you know. They Georgia roots. Mm-hmm. Dad was from Quitman, Georgia.
Oh, for real? My mom from Camilla, Georgia.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
My mom's from Iron City.
Georgia? I don't even know where that's at. That's Southern Georgia?
Exactly. Go past Bainbridge. It's Seminole County. Go past Bainbridge.
Yeah.
Iron City.
Okay.
One. Do they even have a traffic light? It might have a crossing signal. I'm not sure. Yeah, Iron City, Georgia. But the story goes they kept trying to drive to Georgia.
Yeah.
So my birth certificate had Georgia on that too, but it didn't work out. Yeah.
That was that serious about it.
Yeah, dead serious.
It meant that much to him. So mom and daddy at home, strong father figure in the household. Was he in the ministry?
Always.
I know you in the ministry.
Yeah, my dad, for the longest, people thought my dad was assistant minister at our church because he was always with the preacher. And like whenever we go out of town, I remember our past minister at past Raymond T. Williams Sr., he had a yellow Cadillac Fleetwood with yellow leather seats. Yellow on yellow with a A-track deck in the back.
Hey, about 20 people could fit in them cars.
Hey, so we always drive up to Georgia. So my dad was always driving with him. I'm in the back seat.
Yeah.
I'm listening to all the stories and stuff. So he became a minister. I think the first job he took was in Bainbridge, Lamar Street Church of Christ.
Okay.
And then he went back home because he's from Quitman.
Yeah.
So he took over to Cortland Avenue, and then he came back home here to Tallahassee.
Okay.
Before he passed.
Okay. How old was he when he passed?
66.
How old were you?
You got me doing math on camera, bro. I'm 39 now, and he passed in 12.
Okay. I mean, don't think I'm finna figure that out.
I did 7. 27, something like that.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So 27, okay. So you can remember your father very vividly. You can remember everything that he taught you. You can remember who he was. You probably could still smell him.
Oh, bro. It's just, I still have all of his CDs and stuff when he preached. So, like, man, I got him in the truck, so I'll pop him in there. And just like, and like my aunts always say, like a lot of my mannerisms come from him.
So you can see
they can see
your
it.
daddy in you.
They can see it all the time.
That's
and
dope, man.
And a couple things like I'll do around or whatever, around the house, and I'm like, I remember Dad doing that.
Yeah.
Whatever. And even my wife was like, yeah, I remember your dad used to do so and so and so and so and so.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Still live on, man.
That's what's up, man. So you did decide to become a police officer, obviously. Mm-hmm. Was there anything in your childhood, whether it was just the upbringing by your mom and your dad or something that you can remember that, you know, kind of encouraged you along the way to become a police officer? Because I know you said you really kind of became aware of it later in life, but can you go back to your childhood? Was it your father's, you know, just morality that led you to it over time? I don't know if I'm asking the question right.
I think it was just the uniform, period, man, because he was in the Navy.
Okay.
And I was in JROTC in high school. And, like, that's, like, what I wanted to do, but because of injuries and whatnot, that kept me from doing that. But I just remember vividly, like, in fact, Alan Smith, I don't know if you were here or not when he was here, police officer.
Nah.
I really thought his name was Officer Friendly when I was young, because that's what they present themselves as. Yeah. And this is like before DARE. So like we're in preschool.
Right.
So he was working the 80 up there like he did for years at Publix or whatever. And I was saying, hey, Officer Friendly. So I would always see him. And then like the DARE program.
Yeah.
That couldn't help. We look for, I think it was like that Thursday. You get to wear your, your dare shirts, whatever, and be at the offices and talk with them.
Yeah.
Seeing the motorcycles, I always fascinated with that. And then even when I was in college, just you sit on the bus and you're getting, especially if you're in Florida, and you're getting escorted everywhere you go, and you just see the cops and you see the motorcycles riding by. I'm like, man, I look pretty good. So I say it was a culmination of things.
Of it all.
Yeah.
Who was your mother?
Dad's Damon Miller Sr. Rest his soul.
Yeah.
My mom is Baby Doll Miller.
Let me tell you something. When somebody told me your mama name, I was like, that's a cool nickname.
Shout out to Baby Doll. Birthday is the other day. Happy birthday, Mom.
That ain't her nickname.
That is her name.
That's her real name. What's the story behind your mother's name?
Moonshine and Buck.
Moonshine and Buck. Somebody was drunk?
Hey, I don't know, but she told me that when she was born, they're like, oh, she's so cute. She look just like a little baby doll.
Yeah.
That's what we'll call her, Baby Doll. So her first name is Baby. Her middle name is Doll.
No.
And her last name is Miller. So 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Everyone's going around the classroom. Ms. Williams.
Yeah.
My 3rd grade teacher, Gilchrist. She said, what's your name? Say your name, your parents' name, blah, blah. I'm like, Damon Miller Jr. No, what's your middle name? I don't have one.
Yeah.
My dad didn't have one. Like, everyone has a middle name. I'm like, I don't have one.
Yeah.
What's your mom's name? Baby Doll Miller. Now, Damon, not the nickname that your dad calls her. Like, what's her name? And I'm like,
it's not the nickname your daddy calls.
So, like, other kids in class, his mom's name is Karen. It's Nikki. It's this, blah, blah, blah. So in 3rd grade, it's the mindset I had. How smart I was. I said, hey, did my mom and dad come to, like, teacher parent day or whatever?
Right.
Like, I said, then they signed some forms. I said, why don't you go over there? I remember, like, she went over to the corner of the classroom.
See what she signed
and the cabinet, and she pulled it out. She was like, oh my gosh, Damon, I am so sorry. Your mama's name is Baby Doll. All the other kids, oh, that's cool. I said, no, my mama named Karen. That's what you said. But yeah, man, Baby Doll Miller, man.
That's wild. What kind of mom you got?
Strict.
Strict?
Strict.
Her name Baby Doll and she's strict.
Strict. She's a disciplinarian. I even see it. I'm like, she'll do the same thing like my daughter and my son. I'm like, baby, just relax. I said, that's how she is, man. It's just how she is.
So, because you know how they say a lot of grandparents, they don't do their grandkids like they did their own children. They're much nicer to the grandkids. Do you see that at all in her?
Yes and no in certain things. Like, if you do something contrary to what she says, then you're going to get it.
You're going to get it.
But I think, too, sometimes I'm like, oh, man, like you being so harsh or whatever. I think because she raised 2 boys, that's just what she's used to.
Right.
And even like with my daughter, because she'd never raised a girl before, and then she was like the oldest of her siblings. Yeah. Almost. I think my aunt, I had 2 aunts above her, but basically she took care of her baby brothers or whatever. Yeah. So it's like that kind of like mine. But she's strong-willed. She called a spade a spade.
So she more like Big Mama. In the not in the literal sense, but you know how when people think of Big Mama, they think of grandma who is very stern. She's gonna teach you the right way to do things. If you don't do them the right way, she gonna make sure.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she's more like a Big Mama mentality.
She's gonna praise you when it need to be praised,
right?
And she'll give you that. What did I say? She'll give you that. She'll give you that talk. Yeah. It's like it's breaking you down, but she's praising you a little bit too. But just let you know. But then you're like, dang man, she's just so mean. Because in the beginning, like my wife would say, like, yeah, man, I'm scared of your dad, but I'm cool with your mom. I'm like, wait a minute, now it's normally like the opposite way with everybody else. Yeah. But because my mom was so upfront, she lets you know how she's feeling. Like she don't hide nothing back. Yeah. So she lets you know. So I mean, there's only one Baby Doll Miller in the whole world. Love you,
hey, listen, I'm sure of that. I ain't got to look it up. I just know that's the truth.
True story. So Weiss, we was at school, and my mom came in, and we had like a code. It's code blue. Yeah. So code blue was for Baby Doll, for mama. And so for some kind of reason, somebody left the back door open. Yeah. So we were like, it's like 3 of us in there. I think Weiss is in there. Weiss is on the floor. My mama had never met Weiss before in her life.
Weiss is one of our current coworkers.
So she walks in and said, hey, how y'all doing? And so, of course, we had the lights off because we trying to keep down the light bill, whatever. She kicked Dre. Dre's laying on the ground. She just kicked, hey, get up. And he was like, hey, what? And my friend was like,
did she know Dre?
No. Never met him before in the life. just kicked him. I was like, how you gonna kick the man like that? So that was like every time I see Dre be like, man, tell your mama don't kick me no more, man. Kid him there in the kidney, man.
Oh man, is she incredibly God-fearing?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like Saturdays, I couldn't do nothing until I studied my Sunday school lesson.
For real?
I had to get up, mop the floor, vacuum, dust. My wife was like, "You know how to clean?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a baby doll." I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't go outside until all that was done.
Yeah.
That was it.
So what? So you married? How long you been married?
13 years.
13 years. I feel like long years or short years.
It don't seem that long. Like I was talking to today, Dr. Kelly Miller. Love you.
She a doctor?
Yeah.
I didn't know she had a doctorate.
Yeah. She went to UM.
Did not know
got a doctor's
that.
degree in UM.
Hey, listen. My brother got his master's from UM.
Yeah.
He done had plenty of jobs. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that UM degree is strong.
Hey, hold a little bit of
It's
weight.
strong, boy.
Hold a little bit of weight.
It is very strong.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. She got a doctor's degree in 1 year.
No.
It was like unheard of.
She's that smart?
It was a 1 year program. She would fly down there. She would fly down, I want to say on the Friday.
Yeah.
She would fly down on the Friday, have class Saturday and Sunday, fly back Sunday, and go to work.
How long was she doing it? Like a full
like
year?
They used to fly down, her and her friend would fly down.
And she was taking loans out just to take the
the
flight.
them frequent flying miles come in handy. She would fly down, man, like 2 times a month, 2 or 3 times a month doing that.
Was there any part of the class that was online or was just all in class?
I think like I can't remember. I think it might have been, but like you had to be there. I think for those either 4 to 6 days a month. No, that was like required.
Wow.
To go down there. So she did it, man, in the whole year.
I'm curious to know how long she pondered whether or not this is something that she really wanted to do. I mean, to take on a task like that,
bro. Like almost every week, you could say. And then I remember one time she actually lost like part of her assignments and stuff because he just got wiped out.
And then once you go so far into it, you can't. I mean, you committed it at a certain point.
I was like, hey, I said, sweetheart, we're gonna finish this. Right. I said, matter of fact, both our names need to be on that degree on the wall.
Right. So y'all met at fam, or y'all knew each other before that?
No, we met at fam.
But she's not from here, right?
Mm-mm. She's military. Well, she grew up primarily in ATL.
Dang. So her deciding to do the whole Miami thing that allowed y'all to keep y'all thing going because it wasn't like she was gone for the full year. She was just flying back and forth. Yeah,
flying back and forth. And then it, it's one of them things to where like you don't appreciate like what she really does until like you start doing it.
Right.
Because then like I had the kids.
Right.
Because I'm so used to being at
so
work
y'all had
and stuff
kids.
like that. Yeah.
So how long were y'all married when she decided to do that? Because I was thinking this was something she did straight out of college.
She did it. She got a degree. Well, like,
straight
actually, no. Was Damon even born? Damon's 7. My youngest, Damon the 3rd. I don't even think. I'm trying to remember if he was even born or not. I think she might have been pregnant with him. No, I think he might have been born. Yeah. I can't remember.
You took some of those trips with her sometimes?
Nah, I never went down there.
Never
went down there. I know Sunday night, I had to go pick up from the airport, drop off on Friday, go pick up on Sunday.
She didn't have family down there she was staying with, did she?
Mm-mm. Like most of my family's down there. Like my mom, my brothers, my dad's aunts and everybody else. Like for whatever reason, back in the 70s, everybody migrated from Georgia down to Miami for jobs, whatever. But while she was down there, it was just straight school, pretty much.
So what was it like when you decided to be a police officer? Because she was a part of that decision?
No, she was.
Like was she after? We
dated in school and we broke up. Mm-hmm. But we got back together. So maybe like after year 2 is when we got married.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's been a part of the struggle for a while. So, those days of me working from 9 to 7 and then switching from 4 to 2 and then 2 to 12 and then 7 to 3.
Right.
And then being on TAC and being on call and, we all eating breakfast. Her mom, everybody, we eating breakfast at Cracker Barrel and I get that page and I got to go.
Right. I think, I don't think a lot of people realize, like spouses, whether it's the husband or the wife, how dedicated they got to be to the profession, because it's a lot that you deal with as a police officer, but it's just as much that you have to deal with as a spouse of a police officer.
Yeah, I think the one good thing that happens at our agency is that they actually acknowledge a wife during the retirement. Mm-hmm. They call it the behind the badge award, whatever it is. But I think that kind of like, and a lot of times, like the wives don't even know it's coming. Like, yeah, we got a war for you because you stuck with your spouse or whatever through thick and thin through all these years and had to put up with coming home late. Like, I know I'm supposed to get off at 12 o'clock.
Right.
I got up at 7 o'clock this morning.
Right.
So, like, she worried and trying to figure, okay, is he okay? Haven't heard from him a lot of times.
You don't even know if you're going to get that call saying that, hey. Because if you get a call from a police officer that ain't your spouse in the middle of the night, you know it's not good.
Well, she knows, and I tell people like that's probably one of the hardest things I've had to do is basically plan out your own end.
Right.
And I remember that when you get the envelope from TBD, and it sat on my desk for like a week, and I'm just like, bro, I really got like planned out my whole funeral. So she knows if these certain people call her or come to the door.
Yeah.
And so she knows that. So I know she's probably gonna be dreading that if that was to ever happen.
Do you have any idea who it is that would make that call? From experience or just any idea?
I think when you fill out your form out, whatever, they'll open it up and they're looking at, okay, this is what he wants at his funeral. These are the people that he wants to make the notifications.
Right.
I'm pretty sure
somebody
from pretty sure somebody from command staff.
No, it's definitely somebody from command staff.
Gonna be there. But I think I remember putting those 3 names on there, like the people that I wanted to go.
Right.
But knock on wood, I haven't had to do it.
Right.
I mean, even I remember when I was in THI, just making those death notifications. That's always tough, bro.
Yeah.
Always tough. And I don't never. That's one of the things I don't like about the job is just delivering that bad news to a loved one, like, hey, your loved one's gone.
Yeah, that's why we try to do those in person. Doing something like that over the phone is
even like if and a lot of people don't know, like even if like the next of kin is out of town, we don't just call and say, hey, so and so died. Like we'll call the agency down there, whatever. Hey, can y'all go over and deal with this and talk with them about this for us? So
because getting that call that a loved one has passed, there's no telling how a person will react.
Oh yeah.
No telling. I mean, we live in a college town, so I mean, in the past 20 years, you can imagine how many students may have died, and we've got to send the specific agency to a person's house to let them know that the child they sent out to go to school, is no longer with us.
And then you got to hurry up and do it because of social media, man.
Oh,
when I was PIO, there's plenty of times like information got out.
I mean, I think about some of the recent events that we've had where like the one at Potbelly's, where the kid gets shot and he's on the stretcher rolls by. And I think it rolled by just slow enough to where you could see. Maybe it didn't. But just imagine if it did roll by just slow enough where you could see who it was on that stretcher. You know how many other students would have been on their phones ASAP.
Right. Even last night, I'm pretty sure people. You saw the cell phones going up, or whatever, and hey man, so and so got shot, and so a lot of times the family member finds out about that through that instead of getting a phone call from us. Right. And then a lot of times, sometimes family get mad at us about that, but it's just that the age we live in right now, man. You got to be quick on the drive and then tell people, hey, can y'all hold off, please? Right. We understand y'all want to put everything up there, but think about the family. Like they don't want to hear about that way.
That's the thing. The people don't want to hear that. No, there's no, in the world that we live in today, there's no respect for each other. All respect is going out the window. No matter what people think, I wouldn't do that, blah. I mean, honestly, you don't know what you'll do. You really don't know what you'll do.
Until you get in those shoes.
Right.
Like I didn't really. Like I've had a bunch of family members or whatever that lost their father, or whatever, and friends. But like, until you lose your own loved one, like I lost my dad. Like I was just like, I feel like I've never had before in my life, and I don't want to have again. But it's tough, bro. Right. And then just to imagine if, luckily I was there when it happened. But just imagine like if I find out like through a third party, when I look at the phone, like, what you mean?
Other than your own mama or your brother,
you know what I'm saying? So I mean, and I made sure. And that was tough, like just trying to, like I remember I had, I called the watch commander, shout out, I think it was Revel? Revel was actually the watch commander at that time. So I called him and said, hey man, can you send a car, go get my mom and get my wife, because I don't want them driving to the hospital when that's out of code and whatever. And they went and got them and called my brother and whatnot. But, I mean, that's just, during that time, like TBD really like did like come through for me during that time. So, I mean,
that's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.